In the world of Lifeless, a virus broke out over a decade ago and has wiped out most of humanity. What remains of human life has split up into a number of different factions. The two factions available in Lifeless are the Nova Guard, a civilian band of survivors who believe they can find a cure, and the Spartan Phalanx, a militarized, crazed group of cannibals. When players start the game, they can choose which faction they wish to side with. Each server can currently accept 60 players and will only allow 30 players from each faction on a server. Players are encouraged to team up with their faction and cooperate. Between the zombies roaming the land and the other faction, you are going to need all the help you can get. The game is set on a large map across 2 islands. Each island has its own faction base, and as the game progresses, these bases will be home to NPCs, quest givers, and more. For the early access launch, the aim will be to explore and survive in the world. Searching deserted towns and farmhouses will be essential for finding supplies, but you will always need to be aware if you want to avoid or combat the enemy. Hearing gunshots and footsteps from other players will be vital for survival. Names of people on your faction will be permanently displayed over their heads, so if you see some movement in the distance, be prepared. In addition to hearing out the gunshots, you'll be able to see the flashlights of your enemies too. Very useful for when you're exploring at night. As these encounters are purely player driven, you may not always find yourself fighting against the enemy. You can even trade with people on the other faction, and they can always double cross you.